I'm Tanya McLean-Nicholas, licensed marriage family therapist and owner of Renewed Hope Counseling. If there's one thing that will do some serious harm to a relationship, it's invalidation. I constantly hear the complaint of not being heard or feeling validated in a relationship. It could be a parent-child relationship, maybe a romantic partner relationship or friendship, any of these, it doesn't matter. Invalidation literally means to reject or dismiss the thoughts, the feelings, and even the emotions or behaviors of another person, and then to turn around and label them as being not valid or even not reasonable. And we do this by denying what a person is feeling, maybe ridiculing or even judging a person for feeling the way they feel, ignoring or pretending those feelings exist. Regardless of how invalidation is done, it can cause some serious mental health issues, mental illness, relationship issues, and overall just emotional wounding. And invalidation will be a key destroyer to your relationship. So let's talk about it. Go grab your tea or your coffee, whichever you prefer, and let's dig in. Well, when a person feels invalidated, it creates this internal core belief that their emotional experiences are not reasonable, that they're not acceptable, or that they're just not important. And whether you're a child or an adult, invalidation can be traumatic and it causes one to question their self worth and leaves them feeling with feelings of guilt, shame, anger, and even feelings of worthlessness. So as you can imagine, these type of feelings and these core beliefs, they'll interfere with your day-to-day interaction with other people, your ability to accept your own emotions, and lead to mental health issues like anxiety, depression, PTSD, and other mood and personality disorders. So let's explore this a little further. Generally, feelings of invalidation begin in our childhood, where a child may experience their caregiver maybe ignoring them or minimizing or even punishing them for having certain emotional reactions or emotional experiences. Now, this may sound or look like a child experiencing an uncomfortable emotion like sadness, maybe disappointment, anger, maybe fear, loneliness, and they're not met with the physical or verbal comfort or care or even understanding or acceptance that was maybe necessary for that situation. For instance, a child is hurt by the mean words of their peers, and they're told to just kind of ignore them, or it's not a big deal, or focus on something different. Instead of being told, I hear you, I get you, I see you. Or maybe a child is physically hurt and they're told to get up and brush it off and don't cry, don't be a baby, instead of being met with, wow, that must have really hurt. I'm really sorry that you had to experience something like that. That's horrible. Or maybe a child has something to share that's really important to them and they're ignored, or the importance is minimized, or they're told, let's talk later, and later never comes. When a child feels rejected, minimized, invalidated, and it happens over and over and over again, it wounds that child and it can create a core belief that they don't matter or that they're not important or they're worthless. It will also cause a child to grow up questioning their own emotions, leading to the belief that my feelings are wrong or maybe they're not correct. This really truly scars and wounds children all the way to adulthood. People who experience invalidating environments where their feelings or their emotions were not tolerated or accepted as a child struggle in their adulthood with feelings of inferiority, worthlessness, loneliness, maybe low self esteem, and they have a difficult time accepting their emotions as valid. They have a difficult time managing and regulating their own emotions and even tolerating the emotional responses of others and extending validation as well. This is probably the main complaint from so many people about their relationships. Many people who grow up in invalidating environments have a difficult time knowing how to validate other people's feelings, their thoughts, and their emotions. And another reason people will be invalidating is because they're uncomfortable with the emotional expression of others. And it can even be triggering to their past, causing them to emotionally disconnect, maybe distance themselves. And then this is what creates the conflict in the relationships. So, as you can imagine, scars left from invalidation can affect you throughout your lifetime, if not addressed. And if it's not healed through adequate psychotherapy, psychoeducation, maybe learning effective tools for self management, and even self validation, your view of yourself, others, and the world are negatively impacted as a result of it. Regardless of what has happened in the past, we cannot rely on others to validate our experiences or feelings. It's so important to learn this for yourself. Now, I know as I say this, it's easier said than done, but it is something that you can become more conscious of and learn. Ultimately, what it comes down to is healing from the impact and invalidation literally begins by working in a safe, therapeutic setting that can help you address self esteem, self worth, your confidence, maybe being more assertive, boundaries, and gaining other skills and tools that will be beneficial for your personal and your interpersonal relationships. Invalidation in a relationship will create distance, disconnect, shut down, and ultimately it will damage the health of that relationship. But validation in a relationship will increase intimacy, it will increase trust and emotional closeness. Couples who communicate using validating language are more likely to have higher relationship satisfaction, feel more supported, and are better able to manage their own emotions. And children who experience validating language are more open to sharing information that they have, maybe have a greater confidence in their identity and self-worth, and they're better able to manage their emotions in stressful situations. And both adult and children are less likely to disqualify their own emotions when they come up. And they learn to trust their feelings and their decisions, which leads to greater sense of overall well-being, just greater problem resolution skills in general. If you're experiencing feelings of not being validated, or find yourself struggling to validate or tolerate the emotions or feelings of others, now's the time to get with a trusted mental health professional so that you can process it and even work through it. Well, there's so much to say about this topic, but that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed your tea with tea on this Talk Therapy Tuesday. I'm Tanya McLean Nicholas, and I hope that you